Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. If you guys are watching this video, go ahead and drop a like and sub to the channel as well. If you're watching the content, you're enjoying the content every day. But today we'll be taking a closer look at the top four in the men's open division from the Boston Pro. When I did my prejudging in my finals video, I kind of just wrapped up. I didn't actually take a look at pose for pose with these guys. And this was actually one of my favorite moments for the show when those guys was fighting for a position in the most muscular pose. So we're actually going to take a look pose for pose at the top four from the Boston Pro today. Now, in some of these poses, some of these guys aren't all the way into the poses, but we just have to work with what we have. And Justin Rodriguez was in the center in another comparison, but they did not have all the poses for those comparisons. So this will be the one we'll be looking at today. So in his front double bicep, immediately my eyes are drawn to William Bonac. Samson Dauda looked like he may not be all the way into the pose, and as I stated in my prior video, Samson did not have enough oil on. Justin Rodriguez jumps out next, man. He's just huge. The silhouette, shoulders, even his abs look a lot better from last week. Steve looks good as well, but just next to Justin, who is just huge and a little shorter, and William, who has so much detail, he doesn't really stack up. But here, guys, in the front, relaxed, I would say it goes as the placings. William, Justin, Kuclo, and then Samson. So next we're going to take a look at the front double bicep pose. Boom. William Bonac instantly. But once I look at William, Samson vacuum catches my eye. But once again, man, Samson just didn't have enough oil in his prejudging. Now, when Samson came back for finals, he was definitely on. And if he would have came in like that, hey, you could have made an argument for him maybe placing second above Justin. He did beat Justin last week, but I would go with William, and then I would go with Justin. Honestly, you could probably take Justin over William, possibly. I like William's torso is a little bit compact. Justin has a longer torso. I kind of like that look a little more, but William's waist is a little more streamlined, which is actually crazy to say. Steve Kuclo looks good in this comparison. He's like perfectly balanced, like nothing really jumps out at you though. I think Steve actually may need to put on a little more size. So honestly, I'd probably take Justin in this pose. He doesn't have as much separation as Bonac in the quads, but overall I kind of like his flow a little bit. Midsection does look a little messy, but Justin, Bonac, Samson, and then Steve. Now taking a look at the front lat spread, and this isn't a great pose for Justin Rodriguez, but it is improved from last week. You can actually see some definition. Last week it just looked like his stomach was blown out. So Justin is definitely improved from last week. Once again, Steve Kuclo actually stands out, man. I like the V taper that he has in this, but William Bonac, of course, is winning. I can kind of see the gyno in his pose, but William just seems to have another level of muscle maturity and detail that none of these guys have. In all honesty, William is gonna stick out in every shot. He just has a different look to him. And Samson probably could stack up better in this shot once again if he had oil, but Samson still needs to fill those lats out a little more because as you guys can see, with him being a taller guy, he'll just need more lat. But he does have more lat than Kuclo. Kuclo overall just flows pretty well in this shot, so probably have Bonac, Kuclo, Samson, Justin, possibly. So taking a look at the side chest next, Samson jumps out to me, but Samson is standing straight up in this shot, so he kind of sticks out. Going through all of the upper bodies, look like it's probably going to be between Bonac and Samson. I can kind of see that gyno of Williams. But then once you look at the lower bodies, looking like it's between Justin and Steve, honestly. William has a lot of glute, and I feel like he needs more hamstring to compensate. And Samson Dauda is just standing straighter in his pose, so you're not able to see as much hamstring drop. So honestly, I'll probably go with Steve Kuclo on this pose. Steve has a lot of chest area, but his chest doesn't pop out as much. Justin looks good, but those flat triceps really hurt him. And Kuclo tilts his elbow out some to make his arm actually look a little bigger. So overall, I'll probably take Kuclo in this shot. Bonac's upper body may be good enough for me to have him second. I actually think I like Justin second, I like Bonac third, and Samson fourth. But that's just my personal opinion, guys. And next, we're going to take a look at the back double bicep pose. And man, Steve Kuclo is huge. It looks like Steve Kuclo may be stepping ahead of these guys a little bit, maybe even giving the illusion that he's a little bigger. Unfortunately, Samson Dauda will be falling last in this pose. With Samson being a master poser, I'm not sure why he hasn't came up with a better execution for this back double bicep, but Samson just doesn't have the same level of detail that these guys have in the lower half. Also, he has a lot of detail in his back and upper body, but just doesn't have enough density. Needs more lats, shoulders, and arms. Great potential on Samson, though, and he definitely looked better at the night show. Now, this is Bonac is going to be winning this shot because neither Kuclo or Justin has the best bottom half as far as glutes and hamstring in comparison. Overall, Kuclo is huge, man. I'm not sure. I would just take Bonac, Kuclo, Justin, and then Samson last. I really like Kuclo on this shot, man. Kuclo's back never looks this good. And we're going to take a look at the rear lat spread next. And once again, guys, I believe Kuclo may be leaning back a little bit more, but Kuclo's back never really looks this good, which isn't a knock on him, guys, but his back looks a lot improved, even from last week. I'm not sure if he came in more full or what. But William Bonac is winning this pose, guys. The detail, oh my God. Look at the V-taper that William is carving out. The glutes striated. Unfortunately, Samson Dauda from behind just doesn't have it yet. That's where he needs to improve it. Samson is great from the front and the sides. And he has a great admin thigh, most muscular. So once Samson brings it up from the back, Samson is probably going to be dangerous in every single shot. So this is a battle between Kuclo, Justin Rodriguez for second. Very close, guys, but Justin overall has more detail, is in the same condition as Steve, if not harder. And Steve's abductor hamstring area does look a little thin. So Bonac, Justin, Kuclo, and then Samson. Now taking a look at the side tricep pose. William Bonac looks good, guys, of course. This is going to be between William Bonac and Steve Kuclo. This is always a money shot for Steve Kuclo. Overall, I think I might like Steve a little more in this shot. Honestly, not knocking Bonac, but I think his waist was a little tighter last week. When he hits this side tricep, his waist wasn't as pleasing as it was at the Arnold Classic. Samson Dauda, once again, guys, the oil, and he did come in a little off at prejudging, so he could possibly edge out Justin, but he just looks soft here, guys. Even though Justin Rodriguez doesn't have the best tricep, look at the hamstring glute tie-in. Look at the chest. And overall in this pose, I would probably take Steve Kuclo, William Bonac, Justin, and then Samson. But Samson executed this better. He probably could beat Justin. And William still needs more hamstring to compensate for that glute. And next, we're going to take a look at the ab and thigh shot. It's not a shot we're going to look at very long, guys. Not really any of these guys strong shot except Steve Kuclo. Samson looks good in his side oblique shot, but once he hit an ab and thigh straight on, he doesn't have the best V-taper and also has a split in his abs. William Bonac, you know, that's self-explanatory. No need to just... And Justin Rodriguez quads and his abs are a lot better from last week. And I know you guys are looking at this like, yeah, he doesn't look too good, but this is actually a lot improved from the Arnold Classic. And I don't think many people know Justin has had a hernia surgery, which may cause issues with his stomach. Now we're going to take a look at two most muscular poses. Now with this first one, William Bonac isn't always in the pose, but honestly, guys, it's almost impossible to find pictures of every single guy in the most muscular. I noticed this for like every show because they hit so many variations. But take your pick, guys. I mean, I would have to go with Steve Kuclo. I mean, look at the delts, look at the shoulders, man. He just stands out. William probably would stack up better if he was in this pose. Justin looks incredible, but those flat triceps really throwing off his physique, man. If Justin had rounded triceps, oh my God, I didn't really realize how crucial the triceps are in a lot of poses. And Samson looks great in this pose as well. He is beating William as far as this pick goes. So Kuclo in this most muscular. And this is basically the same execution, but Kuclo is just hitting the crab now. And oh, Samson actually looks great here, guys. My eyes actually go to Samson. William Bonac looks good, but once again, he does need to get that midsection issue situated. And then putting Justin Rodriguez next to William Bonac, who has very round tricep, kind of makes Justin's weakness stand out a little more. So I like Samson's rounders in this shot, guys. Most muscular, though. And yeah, Steve's separation seems to not be in his quads. But if we was here in person, more than likely still. I like Steve Kuclo on this shot, guys. Samson Dauda second, William Bonac third, and Justin. Those triceps, man, those triceps. And it has to be genetic at this point because Justin is an incredible bodybuilder and he still hasn't brought his tricep up shit. So, not knocking you at all, Justin, man. Love your physique, man. Glad that you constantly competing, constantly coming in better, man. People are saying that you shouldn't do that many shows. You should take some time off. But Justin is constantly improving, man. He's up here in second place battling with William Bonac, and he's been in prep for a very long time. But hopefully Justin gets to get some rest soon, man. I know he wants to win a show. He's probably going to do Indy and New York, knowing Justin. But I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video, man. Like, sub to the channel is free. I'm out.